Okay, so Montana De La Rosa versus Rachel Ostovich. So Montana De La Rosa was formerly Montana Stewart from The Ultimate Fighter. So they were both on The Ultimate Fighter together. This was a great fight. I thought that, round one, they were just kind of warming up, kind of feeling each other out, especially Ostovich. Ostovich, I believe that she didn't want to lose because there were a lot of Hawaiians out there in that crowd. It seems like it's Hawaiian night. They've got Brad Tavares in the main event. And Rachel Ostovich she really was very, very patient. Extremely patient in the first round. It wasn't until maybe in the end of the first round when she started to counter that long, it was like a pawing jab. It wasn't just a straight piston-like jab. It was a long pawing jab. And it kind of took, and it also came at an angle. She always, Montana De La Rosa would step off at an angle and then throw this sort of pawing jab. It seemed like since she did have the range advantage, it might have been better just to throw a straight jab. But, it worked for her. At the end of the day, it worked for her. She stayed busy. Montana De La Rosa stayed incredibly busy throughout this entire fight. Ostovich was scrappy. She was scrappy. She went for some submissions. She jump guard. I don't even know if it's called jump guard. She rolled into a submission, put it that way, from standing. She rolled into a submission, a strange little submission. So that was like the scramble of it, but she really didn't have any tools for the range. She had no game plan for the range to combat the range of De La Rosa. She really was a incredibly rangy fighter. And in the third round, when Montana De La Rosa finally got her in that rear naked choke position, which it wasn't even the rear naked choke necessarily, she had her back, basically. She took her back, and she was just sort of mounted on the back, throwing strikes at her head. And, Rachel Ostovich lifted her head up I think she was going to try to scramble, but as soon as she lifted her head up, Montana was right on it. De La Rosa was right on it, and she went and whipped her body around, pulled her to the, basically rolled her around to where she took her back in the rear naked choke, classic rear naked choke position. It took her a little while to kind of fiddle with it, tighten it up, change hands that were choking, the choking hand. But eventually she squeezed it on really tight, and Ostovich had to tap out. She had to tap out or go to sleep, basically. It was a great fight, though. I thought it was a really good fight. It wasn't a fight of the night performance, but it was a good performance for De La Rosa. I feel bad for Ostovich, but for De La Rosa, it was a great performance. De La Rosa, I think that in this fight, she actually looked green. She actually looked green. She looked like one of those long, rangy fighters that don't use their range, like a Struve, like a Stefan Struve. She just looked a little bit green. She got the win. She did get the win. But I know that there's more. Like, she could be an incredibly great fighter because she just has so much further to go. But she manages to keep arm barring, submitting these girls. And it looked like at one point De La Rosa had enough punching power that she was going to knock out Ostovich. I see great things from Montana De La Rosa in her future. If she continues to train hard, I see amazing things in her future, actually. I'm going to continue to watch her. Obviously, I'm pumped about this flyweight division, so I'll continue watching this division. I think that the range, Montana's ranginess is going to take her very, very far in this division. She's going to be able to beat up on certain people. You know what? Actually, I like Montana De La Rosa. She's not going to get a big name next, but I will do a what's next for her. Because I see her having these, with every win, she learns something. And she can kind of take an opponent that's a little bit better. Now it's time to go ahead. Let's take one of these veterans, maybe get in there with one of these mild vets. But let's see. I'll think about what's next for Montana De La Rosa, and I'll put together a what's next video. But as for tonight, congrats to Montana De La Rosa. Let me know what you guys thought about the fight in the comment section.